Hey there everyone, and welcome to this week's bite-sized market update. This last week in El Paso County, we saw a total of 224 new houses come to market, 58 price increases. We saw 166 price decreases, 53 homes that came back on the market. Basically, they were under contract. They were under contract to be sold, but didn't close out for whatever reason. Maybe the buyer backed out, there were some issues at inspection, or something that has been happening is people having problems getting qualifications for loans if their hours have changed in the past couple of months. And we also saw a total of 469 houses transfer out to get closed completely to transfer that ownership officially. The last couple months have been absolutely bonkers with everything that's been going on. About March is when we started having the shutdowns. We started having different quarantine stay-at-home orders, so it basically shut down the industry. And then the later part of April, we were able to show homes again. And I want you to kind of think of how this has happened. Like once we reopened back in April, we had buyers who were looking for the spring market who kind of flooded the market. At that time, I had multiple occasions where I was notified by places that I was showing for my clients. We had as many as 20, 25, up to 30 people viewing one house in one day. And then we saw kind of a flood of houses come on the market. Everybody who was looking to sell their house, who had been delayed 2 or 3 months, finally got it on the market. So then we saw a rush of inventory, which is a good thing here in Colorado. And then from there, we've seen a rush of closes, a wave of properties going under contract. So you can think of it as like an anaconda that's had a big meal, like an anaconda that just caught a pig. And then that pig, as it gets digested, goes through the entire anaconda, just creating these waves. And that's kind of what we've been going through. We were backed up with a while with showings, we were backed up a while with inventory, and right now we're actually at a point where I've got certain clients that have been backed up with different things going on. Appraisers taking a little bit more time because there's so many places going under contract, and title companies being overloaded with all the work that they're getting. So they're taking a little bit more time and sometimes requesting more time to get their work done. One more thing that I've seen over the past few weeks from selling, from showing, if you or anybody you know is going to be selling a house where you currently have tenants in it, I really highly recommend you speak with somebody who's a local expert, who's had the chance to kind of deal with that situation before. As I've been showing houses in the past couple weeks, I've run into multiple situations where I showed up to a property, I had clients that wanted to look at it, to potentially purchase it, and we weren't able to get in to see the property because the tenant either didn't know or said they didn't know. And a lot of times that comes down to poor communication between the agent who's working with the seller and the tenant, or a combination of different things, or the tenant doesn't like the tenant doesn't like the realtor that's helping the person to sell, and they'll kind of push back a little bit. Tenants are one of the harder things to work with, especially when you're selling a house. So you'll really want to work with somebody who's diplomatic, somebody who can be a little bit more persuasive and kind of work through the sensitive situation. Because maybe the tenants didn't want to move, maybe there's something else going on, but the owner wants to sell or has to sell. So it's just good to have somebody with a little bit of experience in that, so that as you sell a property, you can get people in, you can minimize complications and get things sold. But that completes this week's market update. If you guys have any specific questions about any of the numbers, any of the data, or you want something more specific like what's going on in your neighborhood or a specific neighborhood, feel free to send me a text. You can send me a message on Facebook, and I will see you guys next week.